Yeah, this one's kind of interesting. We talked about this one before, a little while ago, but this is in Miami, pretty competitive market. We can see that it's a condo here. It ended up selling for 70,000, so it sold for quite a bit. And I wanted to kind of see what the numbers were on something like this, and if it would make sense. You can see it's located right here. Here is essentially what it rents out at. In fact, let me grab another link.
That rents out for $2,500 a month. It's only 360 square feet. That's crazy.
Yeah, and here's one that's just like it is for sale next to it. So, they're selling for about 160 to 180. And they're renting out for $2,500 a month. So yes, they paid up for it. It's only, it isn't. It's in this Sunny Isle Beach, just I think it's south or it could be north of Miami. So it's a uh, small home, and you can get kind of small condo, and you can kind of look and see what they look like. All of the floor plans are the same on this model. But even in breaking down the numbers of this, it's going to pay for itself pretty quickly. And even though
How much do they pay for it here again? This one?
they paid 70 grand.
So 70,000 and it's valued like 180.
Yeah.
And what's nice about that is that with it being kind of a condo, we don't have some of those risks, that we face with just regular homes, where at least we know certain things about the property should be good, like the structure. And at that limited space at 360 square feet, like you could do a rehab on the property for nothing. It wouldn't cost much at any. It was really there's $100,000+ in this deal, just based on what they purchased it for, even paying up. And that's out of Florida. That's in a pretty competitive market. And they're still, they bought this property for about 40% of value, and they paid a pretty low percentage of value on it, which is why it has the ability to pay itself off there in such a short time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's say it's only worth 170. Well, there still could be $100,000 worth of profit. You're talking about something that can't have that much damage to it. In fact, it could be perfectly great. It could be ready to flip right now, just changing the doing some paint or some minor stuff on it, and it's going to pay itself off in less than 2.5 years. So there's homes, but there's things that you can look at like this, and maybe you look at doing it as a short-term rental. Maybe you can look at doing a long-term rental. There's a lot of different options when you're looking at something like this, and this is in a very competitive market.
Yeah, as competitive as they get, really. In Florida, Miami area there, and so that's a great deal. In an area there that's highly competitive, still that's going to be a good win and $100,000+ in potential profit.